A very special welcome to Let's Talk Money on the Diwali special. We're celebrating Diwali today, the festival of lights and the festival of Goddess Lakshmi. Light signifies all that's good and Lakshmi brings prosperity. That's how we want your lives to be, full of goodness and prosperity. So let me start by thanking all our guests today. First, the audience who's joining us on the show, and of course our panel of experts. I'll start with Monica, familiar face, my expert co-anchor and editor Mint Money, Anshuman Magazine, chairman and managing director of Asia's largest real estate consulting firm, CB Richard Ellis. Harsh Rungta, founder CEO of apnapaisa.com. His work, his site has helped lakhs of people take the right decision with their loans and insurance product. And of course, Ramesh Damani, the stock market expert who everyone wants advice from. So let's throw the floor open with one big question. What do you think? Where is money to be made in the next 1 year or 5 years? There's stocks. Is stock the way to go? Or is it real estate, land? Is that what you will look at investments? Or is it gold? And you can't choose all three. So let's start with stocks. How many of you think that stocks are the best investment? Okay, so that's not bad. There's 30% of you think that stocks are the best investment. Real estate? Anybody dabbles here? Oops, we've got more hands on real estate, Anshuman. Gold. Traditionally, I'm glad at least there are 3 women or 4 who like gold as an investment. Okay, all right. So the theme of today's discussion is essentially what is going to make you money. And we're not talking about short term. We keep talking about 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. That's really not the way to create wealth. That's what we maintained on the show. We are talking about creating long-term wealth, beating the curve, making more than what an average man will or better than average man will. So your returns have to be higher than most others around you are making. So that's the aim. And with that, let's just figure out who would like to start the first question. So Sandeep Jain.
At the present level, how do you see gold as a investment instrument?
If you're looking for investment and as a retail investor, I would be very hesitant to get full into gold right now, because the price of gold, as I see it, is driven by global events. The dollar is weakening and the global hot money is looking for a store of value which it doesn't find in the dollar, right? So it's looking for an inflation hedge, it's looking to be safe, and gold is that one metal left which is still safe. The minute the world sorts its problems out, and we don't know when that is going to be, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you may see a fall in gold. For the retail investor, my advice is don't look at gold as a multiplier. If you have a speculative bent of mind, you want to play the momentum in gold, go ahead with a small part of your money. But for investing as a portfolio, not more than 10%.
I think that's what Monica has already stuck to. But let me just tell you how fabulously well gold is done. Just to play a little bit of a devil's advocate here. 1 year, 20% returns. 3 years, 25% returns. 5 years, 23%. And 10 years, 15.5%. So returns aren't looking bad at all. Mr. Damani, what do you think? Gold as an investment. Monica here says not more than 10% in your portfolio. But look at stocks versus commodity as a play for us and tell us where would your money be?
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me to your show, and happy Diwali to all your viewers. I think I've been recommending gold for a couple of years now. It remains a store of value. Yeah, it will go down sometime, but so will equities and so will real estate. But I think the immediate path ahead for gold is probably higher. But you're right, I would not recommend putting all your money in gold, because it's the physical probability of keeping gold. It doesn't pay any dividend. So I would recommend a 5 to 10% exposure of your portfolio in gold as an insurance against central bankers gone mad. I mean, the way they're printing money, it means money will flow into hard assets, and gold is the ultimate store of value, as you said. So some part in gold, not all perhaps, but some part definitely in gold.
All right, some part in gold. Harsh, how easy or difficult is it? I mean, gold was also traditionally thought of as an asset, as a backup security, and now there are lots of finance companies who offer you loans against gold. Is that a good option to take if you need money in an emergency?
Well, loan against gold, I think, is at least the cheapest option. It's one of the cheapest option. Of course, there are, entire hierarchy of lenders even in the loan against gold. I mean, you can get it from 10-11% to 40% even for a loan against gold. but it's very easily gettable. You can get it literally in a day, irrespective of credit history, irrespective of what your age is. So I think to that much extent, your ability to liquidate and get temporary liquidity, both are excellent. Just one more point I want to add to the investment part. In India, I think some portion, it could be 10, it could be 15, 20, that depends on a person's overall asset allocation. There is a consumption that we invariably do. Every Indian typically has a consumption of gold, and to that much extent, therefore, having that in your portfolio does make sense, irrespective of what happens to governments, what happens to dollar as a, I think irrespective of that, over 15 years, 20 years, some gold I am going to consume.
Right. So gold, yes, keep it in your portfolio. You've got a consensus view here. What about stocks? Anybody has a stock question?
Yeah, I have a question for Monica. Monica, in the present scenario, we see markets are mostly driven by sentiments, not by fundamentals. So what should be the criteria to pick up a good stock?
I think Mr. Damani is the real expert there in terms of stocks.
Right, Mr. Damani, what is the criteria of picking up a good stock? I mean, everybody is talking about the fact, yes, fabulous run up in the Indian equity markets, but they are beginning to look fully priced. Yes, our economy is going to double in size over the next 6 to 7 years. So we should see very strong days in the equity markets if you take a slightly longer term period, and don't worry about short term blips. But how do you go about picking a good stock?
It's of course a fascinating question, and you can get all shades of answers, but I'll just quote Warren Buffett saying that in the short run the stock market is a popularity machine, in the long run it's a weighing machine. If you go back over time, Manisha, and look at where have people made significant wealth, I'm not talking income buying, trading and selling. If you just go back and look, I think the lessons are very clear. You want to buy companies that have a great brand name. So you look at a stock like, say, for example, HDFC Bank. The stock was issued at 10 rupees to the public. It's quoting over 1500 rupees today. You look at, all the great brand name companies of India. If you bought them at a significantly good price, they did well. The second criteria is you want to look at companies with strong cash flow. Even if you look from the Muhurat trading session to the Muhurat trading session, some of the stocks that have done well are stocks that all your retail investors are familiar with. A Titan, a VIP, a Tata Motors. All these stocks have doubled from the last Muhurat to this Muhurat, which suggests that this country is going through a huge consumer explosion. So buying a trusted brand name in that sector probably has done well.
So buy a trusted brand name, look around, products that you like are probably good companies to also invest in. But IPOs, we're hearing about the huge amount of divestment which is going to happen, right? So are you queuing up for the applications or are you not?
Definitely.
You are? All right. So what about IPOs as such? I believe Abhijit has a question on IPOs. Would you like to take that?
It's actually more than just IPOs. The thing is that yes, stock market is booming and all, but this is also very much, one can say, because of lot of FI flows, foreign investment flows, and end of the day these are treated as, one can say, treat them as hot funds, which are also dumb funds in the sense that the moment something wrong happens they rush out. So how safe is it in context of the present world scenario? And yeah.
All right. So hot money into Indian equity markets. How safe or unsafe does that make Indian stocks? Mr. Damani, again a question for you.
It's the nature of the beast. I think stock markets the world over are getting a gush of liquidity. I mean, we are all very happy what India has done, but basically Sri Lanka, Philippines, Thailand, all those stock market indices in the neighborhood have doubled. So it's a global bull market of liquidity, of change that is rising, particularly in the Asian economies. With that, one of the beasts or problems with that is that hot money comes in terms of portfolio flows and is equally liable to get out from time to time. But that's just the nature of the beast. I don't think you can do anything about it.
Right. But Mr. Damani, do you believe that we are in a secular bull run? That faith that we need in Indian economy, is it there? Are we going to double our money if we take a 4 to 5 year perspective?
I would think so. I would be extremely disappointed if we couldn't do that in 4 to 5 year periods. Markets are of course very prone to zigzags. So will we get there in a linear fashion? Will grow up 20% a year for the next 5 years so that we double our money? The answer would very clearly be no. As Mark Twain once famously said, the markets will fluctuate. So there will be a zigzag pattern, but I think the size of the Indian economy doubles in the next, say, 4 to 5 years and if you factor in the rupee appreciation, could happen even quicker than that. I think there are good chances that a well-picked bunch of stocks or a basket of stocks will double your money. At least I'm very hopeful about that, Manisha.
Also, and I think when you look at, when you ask the question about hot money and well the markets will suddenly tank, I think we're all looking at a one-time lump sum investment and then thinking that maybe next year it's all gone away. But if you do the numbers of systematically investing every month, and so we've done the numbers and we looked at 2008 and the crash which happened then you see that if you've been investing systematically over time, then even the largest of the crashes gets smoothed out over time. So, you know, we shouldn't look at it as retail investors. We don't have that money to go in one day with 2 crores and put it in. Let's leave it to people like Mr. Damani and all the experts. But you know, we have salaries. We will generate some amount of monthly surplus. If that we put into a market through a fund, through stocks, well-chosen stocks, and then you look at a 5-10 year perspective, you can't go wrong with India.
And I'll tell you why you can't go wrong. There's statistics to prove that you can't go wrong. You know the kind of 10-year returns that Nifty has given, even if you had just taken an index mutual fund or just invested in the index, you would have made 19.6, almost 20% returns. 5-year, 21.9, that's almost 22% returns. 3 years is of course 3.4% returns, because remember we had the crash in 2008. But yet again, in the last 1 year, 24%. You elongate this, and if you go by this theory, your money should actually double in 3.5 years, not even 4 to 5 years.
And even in that crash, you've not lost. You made 3% in a risky asset. So,
I'd just like to also add that it is hot money, it can pull out, it has done that in the past, but the fact is India is an emerging market and that money has to find an alternative to invest. There is enough liquidity right now. I feel for next several years India would be kind of it won't be the flavor of the I think long season, and if our economic forecast is what it is and if we follow that, I'm sure money would still come into the country. Of course it will go up and down, doesn't mean the market is just going to go up. But India is an emerging market, is the only one of the few countries which will be growing consistently next few years' time. So that money may go out, but it will also come in. So I think in India we are in a better position that
right.
way.
And how much of it is hot? Well, look at the real estate prices. We had a short blip and now again they're raging.